Hello, everyone. Today marks my 31st, 32nd day, who's really counting, of the Hard 75. And instead of posting like a regular workout video like I usually do, I just wanted to kind of recap my experience, my mental and physical experience with this Hard 75. So we'll dive into some questions and leave some questions in the chat if you have any questions or suggestions. Let's go. The reason I started the Hard 75 was I wanted to gain a little bit more discipline in my workouts, my eating habits, my reading for personal development and professional development. And so I thought this would be a really good start to that. Working out is something I've done, consistently for at least like the last 2 years. Even in December, I did a 25 days of Christmas where I worked like 25 consecutive days, and that was that was something. But I think it really prepared me to start the Hard 75. Granted, my diet wasn't where it needed to be, but it got me into the consistency of working out consecutive days with no breaks. And so, starting January the 1st, right into the Hard 75, it was an easy transition coming out of the 25 days of Christmas. In the first 31 days, the changes I've seen so far, I started out weight wise at about 192 pounds. I'm down to about 184 roughly. So I think with the correct diet, I reduced my carbs to about, I try to stay below 25 carbs a day and definitely stay under 5 grams of sugar per day. And so I think doing those things in addition to working out has really caused me to see the decline in my weight. And so I've been really excited about that. As far as reading, just mental clarity and things of that sort, I think the knowledge that I've been able to gain reading personal development books every day, and then even on the spiritual level, reading the Bible, has definitely given me a different outlook on the spiritual part or growth in my spiritual walk as well. So I think for personal and professional development and spiritual development, so all of the three, I think the reading part has definitely enhanced in all of those areas. Where have I struggled and not been as consistent as I wanted? I think with the diet, with and I hate the word diet. I guess like the eating lifestyle or the eating choice that I chose. I think just staying under those carb levels is probably one of the hardest things. I've always been like, well, not always, but for the last couple of years, I've watched my sugar intake, but I wasn't as tight on it, and I wasn't reading like all of the labels to understand what sugars I was eating. So staying under 5 grams of sugar has been, I wouldn't say like super challenging, but it's challenging because when you look at a lot of the foods that we eat in the US, it's just packed with sugars, from condiments to, going out to eat. So reducing those sugars under 5 grams have been pretty tough. And then looking at everything that has carbs, it's been like, what? Like, what can I eat? Granted, I have a heavy protein intake, but overall, like the carbs and the sugars has definitely been an adjustment. But I think I'm doing okay. I can do better, and so from February onward, I'm definitely want to do better at that and track my protein intake. That's one thing I haven't been tracking. Although I've been reading labels for carbs and sugars, I haven't been tracking my protein intake. What has helped me stay disciplined on the days that it felt hard? I think just understanding, remembering the why, like why I started this and what I want my end goal to be, and understanding, that if you continue to mess up, or if you mess up once and just like say forget it, then you'll never reach that goal. And I'm very goal oriented, and I'm structured in a way to where I like systems and processes in place. So this just created another system and process for me to achieve the goals that I've set out. So on the hard days, I think just remembering the why, like why I started and what I want from this, has definitely kept me motivated to keep going forward. One lesson that the Hard 75 has already taught me about myself is I can do hard things. That's one of the things that I've just noticed. I mean, when you look at, I don't know why I started it in January and winter. And so having to do that 45-minute workout outside every day in the midst of snow, rain, the cold weather, And so being able to do that every single day, I now know that I can do hard things. So in other areas of my life as well, I can think back to, hey, you went outside and it was 20 degrees and you walked for 3 miles. You can do X, Y, Z. And so I think that's one of the things it has definitely already taught me about myself. When you look back over, the last 31 days and the things that I have achieved, but then the things I fell short, I think just regrouping and being more strict, not giving my I'm not gonna say don't give myself any grace, but not as much leniency. And so when I see that, it's getting kind of late and I'm like, well, I don't want to go outside and walk. I still make sure I get up and do it. When it comes to food intake, I think that's one of the things where, if I've failed at anything the most, it's definitely been that. It hasn't been consistent, but like maybe once or twice a week, I've eaten some carbs that I shouldn't have eaten. Eating a little bit of mac and cheese, whatever. And so I want to make sure that I'm a little bit more disciplined because I am seeing the results, but how much better could the results be if I, hold myself accountable to the things that I said I was going to do. And so while there's no one to reprimand me if I mess up, your body doesn't lie and the results doesn't lie. I have this saying, that numbers don't lie, and so the results doesn't lie. So I just want to hold myself a little bit more accountable over the next 44 days to finish even stronger than I did in the first 31. Kind of like I just said, give yourself some grace. I think, walking into it, depending on your level of exercise and how you currently eat right now or whatever your routines are, I think starting maybe with the 75, I think it's like 75 soft. I don't know if it's soft, hard, light, medium, whatever. But I definitely wouldn't start off with 75 hard. I would start off kind of gradually and work your way into it, kind of like I did with the 25 days of Christmas first, right? So I was already started preparing myself because I knew on the first I was going to start the hard 75. And so I think doing that definitely set me up for more success than going cold turkey, the first of the month, and now you're changing your whole life. I mean, because it takes a lot of planning to get 2 workouts in every day, read, X amount of pages in the book, change your diet. I mean, the amount of groceries I had to change and, try to finish everything that was already in the fridge and then start anew with basically protein and vegetables. Um, and so all of those things, required, time and a process. And so I'll say just start off, where you are, and then, go from there. And on the days you mess up, just don't give up. Kind of jump back on the horse. I know they say that, with the hard 75, if you make one mistake, then you start over from that day and start the 75 days over. I make my own rules. Not that I'm trying to go against what the rules are, but at the same time, I think when we put ourselves in that predicament, then a lot of people say, well, I messed up, so I might as well just quit because I'm not about to start over. Just think you're 40 days in and you eat, too many carbs one day. Now you're forcing yourself to start over on the hard 75. I think just giving yourself a little grace in that and, pick up from where you messed up versus starting all the way back over from the beginning. I think that's the advice that I would give to anyone thinking about doing anything like this because it is tough. People say it's just mentally tough, but it's physically tough. It's tough on your time. I mean, the time that I allot to 2 workouts a day and cooking every day. I can't remember last time I've eaten out. So it's time consuming as well. So I would definitely say, give yourself some grace, but keep pushing. Don't give up. And then the next time you try, you'll be a little bit better at it. So that's what I would say.